Welcome to another episode of Just Cooking. I'm your host, Bassam Al-Alawi, aka Be The Maker, from Darcine Cafe at the Bahrain National Museum. Today, for all these episodes that we've done, we've never done a salad. So I thought today, why not, right? And let's keep it Bahraini, let's keep it local. So I can't wait to show you guys what I have in store. It is a very simple dish, right? Using fresh produce that you can get from our local farms, and you have hydroponic choices or normal choices or earth-based choices. You know who those are. But if you don't, you can always DM me on Instagram and I'll let you know. And basically it utilizes very simple ingredients, one of which is actually very local. It's palm heart or heart of palm, right? And this stuff technically is harvested from the inside of palm trees. It's delicious and it's super nutritious for summer as well. Really high in electrolytes and it has a nice crunch to it. This salad also contains dates, sukkari dates for that nice pungent sweetness, covered with a bit of sesame, roasted in the oven. It's delicious. So let's go over the greens that I've chosen for today. I've chosen 3 greens, a kind of wild arugula, tiny little baby arugula. I've chosen a Lolo Rosso local lettuce, and I've chosen a oak leaf, right? The Lolo Rosso tends to be imported either from Holland or grown locally, hydroponically. Whatever you can find, use that, but you don't have to stick to these. This is not the law, right? Choose whatever greens you like and prefer and make it your own. Right, so I have these on the side, nice, fresh, readily washed. Gonna keep it. I've got a very nice Greek feta cheese that's gonna crumble and it's gonna give it that acidity that I really like in a salad. The base of the salad is a balsamic vinaigrette made with mustard, tiny bit of salt, a touch of garlic, and some balsamic vinegar. Did I say balsamic vinegar? Probably. What I meant to say was date molasses. And you guys, if you watched the episode with myself and Chef Lulu Aswailah, aka Lulu, be sure to check them out. She sells a phenomenal date molasses that she makes in-house, right? You can check out her bio for details on that. And we've got some sesame seeds. I'm gonna pull up some walnuts and anything I can find in the pantry basically that would add a touch of sweetness. What we're gonna do now is basically prep the dates, right? And this is so simple, you guys. It does not need anything. All you have to do is source these ingredients and it's a beautiful summer salad, and it utilizes things that we are familiar with in the Middle East, aka Bahrain. So I have my dates over here, and what I'm gonna do is add a touch of olive oil. This is extra virgin olive oil. Even though it's gonna cook in the oven, it's not gonna be there for a long time. I'm not too worried about stuff breaking up, polyunsaturated fats that we've warned you about. What I'm gonna do after adding the olive oil is season it with a tiny bit of salt, like so. You don't want to overdo it because there's salt in the dressing as well. And then I'm going to coat it with sesame seeds, just as much sesame as you can. I love the kind of nutty taste of sesame seeds combined with the sukkari dates. It's just beautiful. I am going to give this a oh, there you go. That happened. Going to give this a shake like so. And what I'm gonna do is stick this in the oven, 175 degrees for about 20 minutes, right? So when we come back, this would have been nice and roasted and we can put together our salad. See you in a bit. So the dates have been roasting in the oven, and what I'm gonna do now is gonna put on my protective glove, ladies and gentlemen, because nobody wants to burn the hell out of their fingers. So, and I can immediately, you are hit with this kind of sweet, nutty, it's almost like popcorn. Beautiful. They have not burned, okay? They're not weird looking. They've just been caramelizing just a little bit. And I'm gonna take them out of this. There you go. Make sure they're not broken up. I've left the pit in there. You can remove those. I don't want to remove them because I like them to keep their like brown, ambery jewel look. Just make sure to tell your diners that these contain seeds, so make sure to take those out. And at this point, you can let it cool and do that yourself. So this is probably the most labor-intensive part of this dish, right? Because it involves some waiting, about 20-25 minutes. You can go further and like really caramelize these. Whatever you think is best, whatever you prefer in terms of flavor, do that, all right? I like them like this because I don't like them to be too charred. Sukkari dates are very high in sugar, right? And it caramelizes very quickly. So you don't want that burned, over the top flavor. It ain't cute. So I'm gonna move this to the side, just in front of me right here. Why not? There we go. Our dates are ready. I'm gonna have these cool. What I'm gonna do now is make the vinaigrette. And a vinaigrette, ladies and gentlemen, should be made I prefer this ratio, a ratio of acid to 2 or 3 parts of oil for a perfect kind of consistency, right? The oil I've chosen is balsamic because I like the residual sweetness. But the date molasses, hashtag Lulu, is going to go in here to give a bit more sweetness to kind of mirror the sweetness that are present in the dates. So I have some balsamic vinegar. I'm going to put some in there, not too much, right? I think that's perfect. I don't want to overdo it. I do not like salads that are drenched in sauce and everything looks like a puddly, like green concoction. Ain't nobody got time. So this is about 1 part of balsamic. I'm going to do 2 to 2.5 parts of olive oil. And this is extra virgin, ladies and gentlemen. This is the time to use extra virgin olive oil. That looks brilliant. At this point, this is preferable, like, not preferable, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, syntax leaves out the window when you want to grab for that word. So what I'm trying to say is at this point, if you prefer, you can add a clove of garlic. I like to. I think it marries really well with this dish because it's kind of sweet and it gives it that savory taste. What I'm going to do, and a tiny bit of garlic, is I'm just going to crush a clove of garlic, all right, move it to the side, like so. Sticking to my fingers there. I chop the ends off, and what you can do is just give it a bit of a mince on the chopping board. No need for a mortar and pestle and all that headache, right? Perfect. That is nice and minced. I think it's going to add a very nice savory flavor to this. There we go. That, as you can see, is our garlic. Just drop that in there, like so. Make sure it gets in the bowl. All of you. There we go. When we're back, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with the rest of this to make it that creamy, beautiful deliciousness that you're trying to look for in this dish. See you in a bit. So I've added the garlic, the balsamic vinegar, and the extra virgin olive oil in here. I'm just going to give this a mix just to make sure to distribute some of that garlic. Already, it smells like a beautiful vinaigrette. But I'm going to add a bit of mustard. And you can choose Dijon mustard, you can choose English mustard, which is more pungent, whatever it is. What you need, or the purpose of adding the mustard in this dish now, is to act as an emulsifier, meaning something that brings together oil and water that tend not to mix. So I've got some mustard. I'm going to add this, just a touch of this. And with vinaigrettes, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to taste as you go along, because it's your dressing, okay? Make something that you like. I like something that's slightly sweet, slightly salty, nice and vinegary, with a touch of garlic for this. I find that beautiful. So I'm going to give that a mix, right, as vigorously as you can. And at this point, it's preferable to do this with a whisk. I'm doing it with a spoon, and you'll notice that basically that mustard is bringing together the oil and the balsamic vinegar, right? I think it needs just a touch more of mustard. There we go. Let's add a bit more mustard. Perfection. Just going to mix this slowly. Make sure that it's all incorporated and looks the same. And it's okay if this sits, just give it a whisk. Well, what I'm trying to say is if it sits and it starts to separate, don't you worry about it. Just give it a nice whisk. It should come back into the consistency that you're looking for. And it's spraying all over the place. Okay, I think that looks pretty good to me. At this point, I will add a tiny bit of date molasses, right? There we go. Beautiful molasses. About a tablespoon. That's about right. There we go. Give that a mix. And of course, do not forget to season, salt. If you want black pepper, that's some pink salt there because it's not as salty, right? Gonna give that a mix. I have a nice clean spoon that I'm gonna use to give this a taste. And see, does it marry well with the leaves I've chosen, with the dates, with the palm hearts? Beautiful. I think it needs more seasoning. It can handle a touch more mustard. And this is the thing, right? You gotta taste the vinaigrette to figure out if it's any good. And this is good. A bit more mustard, a bit more sweetness. Perfect. So that's about 2 tablespoons of the date molasses and about 3 tablespoons of the mustard. That's about right. Give that a final mix, a final taste. Now that I'm giving it a final taste, I can use the spoon that's already in there because I don't want to double dip. All right, look at that. Nice and creamy, consistent, meshes well and blends well together. That's what you're looking for. It looks like It looks almost like melted milk chocolate. That should be your indicator. Yeah, that's a good one. All right. Perfect. Really perfect, if I say so myself. I'm going to set this to the side, right there. And when we come back, I'm going to plate up those leaves, going to put some of those dates on there, chop up those palm hearts, dress it, and we're good to go. See you in a bit. So I've got my leaves here, right? A mixture of Lolo Rosso. This is actually from the Netherlands, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I told you earlier it must have been local. I'm probably mistaken. I've got that nice arugula. I've got the Lolo Rosso. And I like to cut or break leaves with my hands, right? So that you get more coverage, better leaves. You don't get like clean knife marks. You don't want that in a salad, right? I'm gonna leave some of these slightly whole because I want to dress the salad. I want it to have structure. I don't want it to lie flat because I'm serving it in a flat plate. There we go. We've got the nice oak leaves. I mean, look at these. They're just beautiful. Really nice. Super bright, a lot of colors. Love it. There we go. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm wearing these really ugly gloves because I'm gonna season the salad, a step that certain people sometimes forget to do. It is important if you want a really flavorful salad. Tiny bit of olive oil, extra virgin, not too much, okay? Too much, it's gonna get soggy, and we told you earlier that we don't want that. And a tiny bit of salt. Remember, if you salt a salad, serve immediately. Otherwise, that salt will start to draw moisture from those leaves, and that will turn into a soggy mess. I'm just gonna gently kind of toss everything together. I'm not trying not to break the leaves. I'm just turning them, all right? Beautiful, really nice. At this point, you can add a touch of dressing. I'm not going to. I'll dress the salad a little later on. Now, set this to the side. I've got my plate. I've chosen a flat plate. You can do a bowl. And I'm gonna lay this beautiful salad and keep it as kind of raised as possible. I do like a raised salad. There's something just so aesthetic and beautiful about it. I mean, look at that. The leaves, the colors, it's just summer. Perfect. I'm gonna set this to the side, use up all those leaves. The leaves are glistening, they're beautiful. Move this over here, set the salad to the side. That was loud. Move this. And now we're ready to chop up our palm hearts. So these palm hearts are basically, the insides of the palms. And you can use, if you can't find the local ones, which they usually sell at the local markets, you can use canned, but make sure to wash them really well. What I'm gonna do is I wanna turn this into like a block because I want really thin slices of this stuff, okay? Because it can be a little too much and the crunch is a little intense. If you cut it up into these like tiny strings, easier to eat, all right? As thin as I can. Of course, I'm wearing the ugly gloves. I don't like using them when I'm cutting stuff because it just does not help with the grip, which is dangerous when you're using a very sharp knife like this one, all right? When we come back, I'm gonna add this stuff all over the salad and it's gonna taste delicious. I'm gonna dress it, tiny bit of walnut in there, why not? It's gonna be amazing. See you in a bit. So I've laid down all those beautiful shredded palm hearts. You can add more if you like. I thought that this was aesthetically as right as I can get it. And what I'm gonna do now is take those jeweled, beautiful dates, set them, nestle them amongst the leaves, and it's just really exciting when people eat this and they find those little tender morsels of sugary goodness in there. It's just really nice, super pleasant to eat, right? There we go. I think that looks good. What I'm gonna do now is take some of that feta cheese, right? And just break it up. I've drained this feta cheese, okay? So it's not just like watery. Feta cheese should flake, and this flakes beautifully, like so, right? Not too much, just a touch. There we go. Perfect. Now, I'm a cheese guy, so I know that for some of you, this is not enough. It's okay. Put some more on there. It's fine. Now that I've done that, take off my gloves, set them to the side. And now, time to pour some of that beautiful vinaigrette. I have a nice tablespoon, nice and clean. I'm just gonna drizzle this just on top like so, all right? Don't go too crazy with the sauce, but I mean, look at that. Beautiful, so nice looking. I'm gonna add a tiny bit of cranberries that I had from the other day, and some of those pumpkin seeds that we used in Chawan, Verduer Steele's episode. Why not? They're lying there, they're delicious, they're gonna add a nice punch. You guys, you have to make the salad, the delicious sesame seed coated roasted date salad, sukkari dates, with mixed leaves, palm hearts, and a balsamic. So I put together the salad, it looks delicious. I've got the dates encrusted with sesame seeds, baked in the oven, palm hearts shredded really thinly, a balsamic vinaigrette made with a beautiful date molasses, hashtag Lulu Suela, some olive oil, a bit of feta cheese, dressed it all up. You gotta make this salad, you guys. And you know what? You can make it in any way you want. Follow the instructions if you want to do it like this. Change it up if you'd like. Keep it summery, keep it fresh. You guys, remember to make this and have a blessed Ramadan. Stay safe, stay blessed, and stay grateful. See you next episode.